So, on November 20th of 2023, the People's Bank of China and the Saudi Central Bank signed a local currency swap agreement worth 50 billion yuan, which translates to around $6.9 billion, or 26 billion Saudi Riyals. This agreement is a significant step in strengthening financial cooperation between the two countries, as well as promoting the use of their respective currencies in bilateral trade and investment. And this also may have some negative long-term effects on the value of the US dollar. Now, what is a currency swap agreement? So a currency swap agreement is a financial arrangement between two central banks that allows them to exchange their currencies at a predetermined exchange rate for a specified period. These agreements are typically used for two purposes. One, to facilitate trade and investment. By reducing the need to convert currencies, swap agreements can make it easier and cheaper for businesses to trade and invest across borders. And number two, to manage liquidity risks. So swap agreements can help central banks manage their foreign exchange reserves and provide them with access to funds in the event of a financial crisis. So why is the China-Saudi Arabia currency swap agreement important? Well, the currency swap agreement is important for several reasons. First one being it strengthens financial cooperation between two major economies. China and Saudi Arabia are two of the world's largest economies, and this agreement will help to deepen their economic ties. Number two, it promotes the use of the yuan and the rial. Now, the agreement will make it easier for businesses to use the yuan and the rial in bilateral trade and investment, which could help to internationalize these currencies. And number three, it supports the de-dollarization trend. Now, this agreement is part of a broader trend of countries moving away from the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. Also, with the evolution of BRICS, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and recently they've adopted a few others, but China and Saudi Arabia now have access to trade within their own BRICS countries and not have to rely on the US dollar. Now, what are the potential impacts of this agreement? So this could have several positive impacts, including increased trade and investments. It can make it easier and cheaper for businesses to trade and invest between China and Saudi Arabia, which could boost economic growth in these respective countries. This could also boost the value of the yuan and the rial long term and make them more prominent reserve currencies. While boosting the value of these currencies, it could also encourage investors to diversify their portfolios and allocate more funds towards assets denominated in yuan and rial, potentially affecting asset prices and market dynamics. So moving on to the impact on the dollar. So if the dollar loses its status as the world's reserve currency, this could also ruin US power and influence. The US government would have less leverage over other countries, and the US economy will be more vulnerable to shocks from the global financial system. It is still too early to say for sure what the long-term impact of this currency swap agreement will be. However, it is clear that the agreement is a sign of a growing trend away from the US dollar, and this could have negative consequences for the US economy and for US power and influence. So in conclusion, the China-Saudi Arabia currency swap agreement is a significant development that could have a huge impact on the global economy. The agreement is a sign of the growing relationship between China and Saudi Arabia, and it could help to promote the use of the yuan and the rial as international currencies. This is also a strong signal that these countries are actually committing to reducing their dependence on the US dollar, which means this may negatively impact the value of the dollar over the long term. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. It really helps me out and lets me know that you're interested in seeing more of my content. Also, if you have any thoughts or questions about the video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I always love hearing from you guys and getting your feedback on how I can improve myself. Thank you.